So as we've introduced our Alibi Cloud VS solution, we've had a lot of people talking about, well, maybe I should have a cloud-only solution, or hey, I've got a traditional on-prem solution. I'm not sure that cloud works with that. I know we have a different opinion on this, so why don't you share with us your thoughts on how a cloud video surveillance solution can really complement a traditional on-premise solution?
Sure. So, there's lots of places that already have systems in place. You're already going to have, you may walk in and you've already got security cameras that you bought, say, a year or two ago. And you may want to expand upon that system, or you may think that you're just not getting everything you can get out of that system. Cloud is a newer transition in our industry. Getting people used to the fact that they're not having to put a recorder on site is something that's a little bit new of a concept. So when you think about moving to a cloud solution, it doesn't always have to be, I'm going to jump everything over to a cloud platform right away. And when you think about doing that in a logical way, the easiest way would be are there mission critical areas in your building that you really want redundant storage and backed up video on that can't be tampered with? It could be as simple as I've got my recorder sitting in a back office in my business. I don't have a secure way to lock it up. Employees can come and go out of there. They may touch it. They may mess with it. What about adding a camera to look at your recorder? And I know it sounds kind of strange. I'm watching my recorder, but it prevents a lot of things. It prevents you from having, a camera that is connected to your primary system, so no one that you give access to your system to is going to be able to access that cloud camera. It's a completely different platform. So it keeps a little bit of independence, and it gives you that evidence to see who's maybe tampering with your system. Or for instance, if you do get robbed, you're a retailer. Someone can come in, they can grab that recorder right off the desk, run out with it, you lost all your evidence. You still have a camera recording, at least in that one location, saying, hey, I caught this guy as he was grabbing my video recorder, and there's evidence to turn into the police to try to catch that guy. So there's lots of ways to put additional cameras in place, and it adds a little bit of an extra layer of security because they are separate. As much as you might want a unified system, sometimes there is more security in not having a unified system, depending upon what you're trying to protect yourself from. In terms of expanding, you may already have a system in place and your channels are capped out. So I have a 16-channel recorder, I have 16 cameras. So you have a choice. You can either buy new hardware to expand and try to put another recorder on site, but of course now you're not only incurring the added expense of adding cameras, you're incurring the expense of buying an entire new recorder, and typically when you jump from say 16 to a higher channel count, that's a pretty steep increase in price, because you can't just go to 18. You're typically going to 32. So the ease of expansion would be, I'm going to throw a couple of cameras on my network, I'm going to record those to the cloud, and now I've got say 20 cameras instead of 16, and my total out-of-pocket cost was lower. My total installation time was lower and smaller because I'm only putting in new. I'm not having to replace. So there's lots of ways to complement that kind of together in that scenario. And then lastly, I'll cover is remote location buildings. You could be on a large business campus, and for whatever reason, you may have an annex building that was built, and they just didn't run a network cable to tie you together to another building. So you can try to do trenching, put another fiber line over there, but if that building has internet access, you can put a cloud camera over there, record that camera, and you don't have to worry about getting back to the head end, wherever that may be on the network, because that head end is now in the cloud. So it allows you to kind of put cameras where you want at any point in time. A great reason for this would be city municipalities. They have recorders looking at say City Hall. They may have an annex wing across the town. They may have a remote parks building that they want covered. Those aren't all going to be interconnected. And rather than having to go put recorders at every location, you can just throw a couple of cloud cameras here and there, and they can be completely independent, and they can supplement what you already have, or you could then expand and eventually migrate up, which is what we see a lot of times happen is once they get cameras into the cloud, they see how easy it is to manage and use. That on-prem can slowly be migrated to be 100% managed by a cloud solution. It just makes the transition a lot easier for customers.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so as we get used to seeing the cloud solution deployed, I think we're seeing a lot of our dealer partners understand it doesn't have to be either or, and these solutions work really, really well together especially for those areas that they absolutely need that critical off-premise redundancy.
Correct, yeah, and most of the time when you're supplementing, you're not really looking at trying to look at that camera full time. You just want to make sure that the footage is there when you need it, which is why it works so well, right? You're not worried about making everything homogeneous on one app. It's more, I've got video, I know it's secure, it'll be there when I need it.
Yeah, great.